Head coach Craig Neal for our Delta Dental coaches comments. Coach Neal, where to start with this one? Wow, is that about as good a game from start to finish as the Lobos have played this season? It was tremendous.
Well, I thought the first half was the best we played, and I thought before that the first half we played at Boise. So my comment to the guys was, we need to play those two halves together. And I thought we played very well. I thought we got off the slow start in the second half and gave them a little momentum because they're really good in transition, and we never allowed them to get in transition in the first half because we were scoring. Our efficiency was really good, getting what we wanted, getting the ball in the paint, getting to the line, and it kind of stopped. And then we had some lulls to start the second half, and they were able to get out in transition, get to the rim. I thought we did a good job in our zone in the first half, kind of took them out of their rhythm. But all in all, it was good. I didn't like to see the last 4 3-pointers go in, but, we got to continue to get better at that. But, we've done it for so long that we've been really good at stopping dribble penetration and shrinking in. And that our defense was predicated. You gave up shots because you were playing the percentages. And we've tried to change that. Lamont's done a good job, and he's worked at it. We're trying to get our guys out of that habit, not to shrink so much and travel when the ball's in the air, to be there on the catch. And we're getting better at it. I thought we were really good in the first half, but I think we reverted back to everybody's worried about helping, and then, then they throw it out, and it's a wide open shot. But, we just got to, it's 2 or 3 steps that we got to continue to work on, but that's why I said we got to keep improving. But all in all, anytime you play a game and those guys play like that with Kirk and Cameron, 16 rebounds and 53 points, it's just going to be hard to beat us. And, I thought Alex was real effective. He really played with his body today. He really got, his rear end on people and really got his back on them instead of trying to post with his arm and let guys get around him. I thought he really, and Alex is very coachable. He's great to be around. He's great to coach, and that's the Alex Kirk that I know, and I think he's going to continue to do that. I think his leg problem slowed him down a little bit, missing those 3 games, and I think he played 3 games before, the ones he missed that is bothering him, but I think he's back healthy. He's moving really well. I thought he did a nice job. I thought, we went back to some old stuff that we did a year ago. Instead of, having a guard make the post entry, we threw it to the high post and got that high post look and got some things, and Cam was able to drive it. So I've been really watching a lot of film, trying to see how I can help my team get better, and went to it today and changed a few things up, and it worked.
You mentioned with regard to the 3-pointers, they hit a couple there, 3 or 4 of them there in the second half, but I thought the 3-point defense was very good early on, and you've said all along that it's a lot easier to make those threes once you get down by 20.
Yeah, and that's, everybody's going to look at the stats and say, well, you gave up 9 threes again. I said, yeah, they made 5 of them when they're down 20. It's a lot easier to make those shots when you're down 20 than it's a 2-point game or a 3-point game, and the crowd's going nuts. But that's part of it. That's what the stats end up. But anytime you can score 90 and have 27 assists and only 8 turnovers is pretty good. And really proud of our guys. We shot it well. We shot up 55 for the game and 43 from 3 and 90 from the line. And we're very capable of doing that. And it might be the first team that we've held a team. I thought one thing that we haven't talked about that we talk about is that I thought our free throw defense was outstanding.
It was fantastic.
I thought we were able to get a hand up in the shooter. I thought we were able to. I thought the crowd had the new thing going over there.
There were some new faces, it looked like, in the student section.
And the student section did a great job tonight, but I thought our free throw defense was outstanding. We held them under 60.
That was beautiful. 7 out of 12. You got to keep that rolling. That's great. You mentioned the assist total, and this bears repeating, that number 27. That's your season high. 25 was the previous. And the first 14 baskets you made were assisted on before the Bearstow drive.
Right.
Just sharing the ball beautifully.
Yeah, and that's what I think we got out of in the second half of Boise. I think we got into, we didn't get the ball to people. We didn't move the ball. We passed it out of the trap, and instead of making an extra pass, reversing the ball, we kind of brought it back the other way. We just did some things that are uncharacteristic of our team, and that'll come back to bite you. And it did. And I thought tonight, I told them before we went out, I said, you got to reverse the ball, you got to have ball movement, you got to move the ball, you got to share it, you got to be a good teammate, you got to set somebody else up. And I thought that was the best, that we moved the ball from side to side and got what we wanted.
Very early on in the year, when the three Lobos in non-league play were averaging 18+. There were a couple of nights where Alex and Cam were just off the charts, but I thought they looked about as good together on the floor with the nights that they put as any game this year, tonight.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And they're able to get, we couldn't, Kendall really didn't get in a rhythm, but he played a great game. I mean, He had 5 assists, and he didn't turn it over. He played great defense on Burton. He just couldn't get a shot to drop, but, I mean, he can't do that every game. He can't do what he's been doing every game, but those guys, and he's unselfish, and he understands it, but not only did they do that, and we were still able to get 24 bench points, so that was huge for our team.
You led me right into my next question. In fact, I was going to compare the 24 bench points today to the 2 that you got against Boise, and I thought you brought Cullen in as the designated zone buster, and he knocked down the 2 threes over the 2-3, and they never went back to it.
No, they did late in the game when it was over, but, we were able to make some shots, and our guys shared the ball, and Pancake made some shots, and we had guys in the right spot, and, so it was a good night for our guys, and really happy for them.
Well, Bosch had a very good sequence in there as well.
I'm telling you, he's going to be good. And, people don't understand, and it's hard to play anybody behind Cam and Alex a lot of minutes. It's just hard because I got to play those guys 30 minutes, and I got to continue to play them 30 minutes because they're so good. But I thought Obach gave us 10 really good minutes. He gave 2 fouls. I think he changed a couple shots, but the thing that he can do, and he's going to get better when we get him on the low post and work. He hadn't played in a year, so he's going to get better at scoring the ball. But if it goes up and we get a rebound, or he gets a rebound, he gets it out, he's going to beat you down the floor, and he's going to run to the rim, and he can catch it, and he can get to the rim. So just really happy for him, and it was really good minutes for us.
And great free throw shooting by your team as a whole tonight, 19 out of 21.
Yeah, I just thought we worked on it yesterday, and I didn't spend a lot of time on the floor, and we missed some, and you can't make them all. I know everybody wants us to make, 21 or 21, and I want us to make 21 or 21, but it's just not possible. But we shot it well. We shot it well tonight, and we missed some crucial ones up at Boise, but hopefully that'll make us stronger for our run.
You mentioned their transition in our pregame being so important, and I thought Kendall's defense out top, setting up some transition baskets for you early was big.
Right, he's terrific with that. He's been an excellent defender. I don't think he gets enough credit for being a defender that he is, and the only thing I got to get him to do is play every possession, because you're playing him so many minutes that he'll take 1 or 2 off where he'll kind of get lost, and but he's been terrific all year.
And maybe one other quick thing on Deontay Burton. You mentioned that when the Lobos are shooting the ball as well as they did in the first half, 65%. They're not going to get in transition, and you told me before the game that Burton's so good in transition.
Well, I mean, our first 2 possessions we didn't score, and he just took off, and he got to the rim both times, and we were able not to let him do that in the first half because we were scoring at such a high frequency, and then we let him get going a little bit, but we were able to sustain their runs, and they got it down to 16 I think once, and we took it back to 21, but it teetered from back there, back and forth, so we were able to answer their runs.
He had 1 point and 0 field goals in the first half, mostly Kendall's.
I think Kendall's defense, but we did play pick and roll different. We iced everything, forced it to the baseline, and we did that a lot last year, and I've been watching a lot of tape trying to make our team better, and I just said I'm going back to it today, and we went back to it against them, and I think it helped us.
And that was a decision, was the switching from the Boise game, but moving to the icing?
Well, the Boise game was a little bit different in the sense that they play 2 6-4 guys, and they've always played 4 guards. This, Huff's a hell of a player. He's really improved, and he can make the 3, but he's a big 6'8" kid, so you really don't have to switch that. But I just thought once we got him over there on the side, I just wanted to keep him over there because he's more dangerous when he gets in the middle of the floor, and we were able to keep him over there, and we kept him over there in the second half, but we just were jumping it too much and let him split us. But then we corrected that. We were fine, but anytime we started icing him, I think it gave him problems.
All right, now get to work, get ready on Vegas next week.
Tonight. We'll be working tonight.
And on the road on Tuesday?
Yeah, we leave Tuesday after practice. We're all practicing, and we're on the road Tuesday after practice.
All right, best of luck against UNLV.
Thanks, guys.
Congratulations on a big win. Lobo head coach Craig Neal. Our Delta Dental coach's comments brought to you by Delta Dental of New Mexico. Almost 400,000 New Mexicans covered by Delta Dental plans. For more info, log on to Delta Dental NM.